So I'm going to continue the conversation with a very special guest. I know that we're all staying indoors. You may have young people. We have some people who are at home and they're now teaching their kids or homeschooling. And we're going to spend some time, just a few moments, talking about what you can do in terms of helping your young people and doing some things virtually. And I have a very special guest on the line from Detroit Writing Room, Ms. Stephanie Steinberg, and we have another special guest, Sacred, I believe, is on the line as well. Stephanie, good afternoon. How you doing? Thanks for joining us in the conference room.
Hi, Mark. Thanks so much for having us. I'm here with also Jake SERWER, my co-founder from the Detroit Writing Room, and lovely husband as well.
Good morning to both of you.
Good.
How you doing, Mark?
Thanks for having us.
I'm back.
I lost you. So you heard in my comments, we're talking about, if you want to join the conversation, by the way, 313-778-7600. I'm not in the studio. You may be watching online, and I'm not there. Dana's not here. We are on the phone. We are practicing social distancing as well, so we thank you for your patience.
We are.
Yes. So Stephanie, talk to us briefly about the Detroit Writing Room, and I know you have a couple of special programs you want to talk about as it relates to Detroit public school kids as well.
Yeah, so we are a co-working and event space in downtown Detroit. We also have 25 professional writing, photography, and design coaches that the community can sign up with for feedback on anything from books to their website or a resume that they need help with. So right now, with COVID-19, we have shut the doors, but we do have virtual coaching and virtual workshops available online. So we're still going at the moment and offering, a great resource for writers especially who are at home right now and have more time on their hands. There are a lot of people working on books right now that we're working with. So we're hoping to help them along their writing journey at this time.
Yeah. And Jake, you are the co-founder with Stephanie. Before we segue into the coaching component that you have for the young people, talk to us about the concept behind the Detroit Writing Room, and before the serious situation, the COVID-19 that we're currently in. Talk about the level of success that you are having behind this program and how you convert things to be done virtually as well.
Well, so the writing room, as Stephanie said, everything is moved virtual. We have summer camps for kids that is going to be our next challenge that we're working on. We were fortunate to get funding in the form of a grant from the Fisher Foundation, which we're very grateful for, and excited that the Fisher Foundation is our first partner. We're hosting 2-week photography camps for kids. Anyone in the city of Detroit, if you're a student, high school student in the city of Detroit, on the DetroitWritingRoom.com, we have places where you can sign up for these summer camps. And so we're just going to have to take a look at it. It's supposed to start in July. We have the ability to move them further on into the summer if need be. But right now, safety is our biggest concern, and we want everyone to be healthy and hopefully get back to our normal lives and normal schedules.
Yeah, and Dana, I know that you have you have a couple of adults now, young adults, but certainly I'm sure when they were younger, I'm sure that you got them engaged in different types of summer camps and different types of programs to certainly keep their minds sharp and their hands sharp and everything else that they needed to do to be successful in school.
Absolutely, and I'm just thinking about how a lot of the kids right now are learning virtually, finishing out their school year. So I love the fact that you all are adding enhanced opportunities for them to get engaged in things that they love, but also things that will just help them academically. So, I commend you all for still allowing your community to serve both the adults that are looking for things professionally, but also for the kids that could use a little bit of help. So I think it's great. I love that you guys are doing that. And I also wanted to let you all know that I visited your space last summer not too long after you left. I have a couple of friends that have hosted things there and done poetry evenings. So if just for the listeners, it is such a cute place. And once we all get back to engaging and getting out, I would encourage everybody to stop by and say hello.
Thank you so much, Dana. That's so awesome that you've been to our space and have been able to experience it. I do want to just quickly mention the poetry night that you mentioned. We actually are doing a virtual open mic night Monday at 7. So anyone can participate from home. If you want to share a poem or a song or any type of creative talent, and we're going to have hopefully 100 people join in. You can sign up on our website, DetroitWritingRoom.com. But we are looking forward to the day that we can open the doors again and have everybody experience everything in person.
Yes.
Yeah. And we know that everyone is chomping at the bit to do something. I've been noticing the last week everyone's been doing virtual concerts, and DJ Nice has been having his club quarantine, and clearly people still want to be engaged. People are having what they call virtual social happy hours, and they're doing things to leverage technology. So I think that's an excellent point, that we need to continue to somehow find a way to stay engaged. And what I want to do is a segue. You have launched a 501c3, a nonprofit called Coaching Detroit Forward. And that's where you're having certainly professional writing, photography, and design coaches who are going to lead their free summer camp that you talked about earlier with Detroit High School kids. I know that Stephanie and Jake, you've invited a very special guest on the phone. Why don't you do the honors of talking about the 501c3 and do the honors of introducing the other special guests on the phone with us?
Yeah, so Coaching Detroit Forward is our nonprofit arm, and we have Sacred Overstreet-Amos on the line with us. She is our lead photography coach for the summer camps. Sacred has been a wonderful supporter of the Detroit Writing Room since the day we opened, and even before that when I was kicking around this idea to launch the space. And so she's going to be working directly with the kids, teaching them how to use professional cameras and taking them out through Detroit on photo walks. But I will let her explain more about everything that she's going to be offering for the students this summer.
Hey, Chris, thank you for joining us. How you doing?
Peace, everybody. Thank you for having me. I'm doing well, considering everything. I hope all of you are well and staying healthy.
Let me say one thing, Sacred. If today we wake up every day, the sun is shining like today it is in Detroit, it's a good day. And
it is.
Be thankful and blessed. I'm trying to put a positive spin on all the negativity that's surrounding us. So we're so glad to have you. And talk to us about your role in your photography coaching. Talk about your role with the Coaching Detroit Forward program and your relationship with the Detroit Writing Room.
Okay, so the Coaching Detroit Forward program is an awesome program. It will definitely impact a lot of young creatives in the Detroit community in a positive way. I am the owner of Moon Reflections Photography, and being a part of the Detroit Writing Room and Coaching Detroit Forward allows me to extend my expertise to the children and offering them a hands-on summer camp that focuses primarily on photography, but it also is about learning your history, knowing who you are, creating confidence, and instilling a group and community mind when learning these different creative things that really, really help children in school and further themselves. Like, it gives them more confidence to look forward to opportunities as professionals. So when we're doing the summer camp, they will definitely have a hands-on opportunity to handle professional cameras and learn to have perspective, how to see the world from a different viewpoint while creating art. And at the same time, they're going to be connecting with professional creatives in Detroit who specialize in certain areas of photography, because one thing we know is that parents are always striving to provide for our children, so they need people like us in the community to nurture those creative passions and let them know they can be great educationally, but they can be great as a creative professionally as well.
Sacred, this is Dana. I think this is so so good that we're talking about this right now for a couple of reasons, and I love that you all are preparing to get ready for this for the summer. Number one, parents are stuck at home with their kids, and I can assume that a lot of them are looking forward to the time when they can be out, and it'll be summer. We're all hoping and praying that it'll be summer. So this is a good time for a lot of Mark's listeners to hear that you all are working towards this opportunity for kids in the summer. And number two, I think the quarantine that we have all been that has been imposed on us has given all of us an appreciation for the creative space. You know, we're all taking another look at the things that are art focused and creative focused and personally a personal vision for how we live our lives. So for those two reasons combined, I think this is exciting. So I just needed to express that to you.
Thank you for that energy. And it definitely is a time where I've gone out because I have two small, well, they're not small, but they're two children, 8 and 11, and I've gone out and bought so many art and paint and science projects and things to like keep us all going. To the first part of what you stated, it's definitely important for parents to know ahead of time to prepare for these summer programs, because usually due to COVID, we don't have the opportunity to go out and go to the different programs that show you what's going to happen.
Exactly.
The fairs, thank you. The different fairs, but we're so grateful to this opportunity to get the word out that, yes, we are in a situation currently where we're in our homes, but we're still striving to be creative. But in a couple of months, we're all praying, hoping, and wishing that we'll be out of this situation and we'll be back out in nature. And photography out in nature during the summer, oh, it's amazing. It's so much fun. It's so freeing. And I love working with the kids, and I love empowering them. And we're just grateful for the opportunity. Thank you for this.
We're having this conversation. We know that we're all at home. Okay, Detroit, I'm talking to you. State of Michigan, I'm talking to you. People across the country and across the globe be watching us online. Listen to me very carefully here. I know some of you, my kids are adults. They're gone. They have grown the coop. But some of us have kids that are home. And you're looking to get them active and engaged. Our great city of Detroit, we have some of the most creative people on the face of the earth. We've given you Motown. Not many people know that we've given you the street light. Not many people know that we've given you the first mall in the country, which was North Rail Mall. Not many people know that we gave you, this country, the very first highway. No, it was not the Raj Freeway. It was the Davidson Freeway. This is a city of innovators. This is a city of collaborators. We gave you the first car. We have given you techno music. And these things that I point out are all a direct result of the creativity of the great people of Detroit. And here's another program that you're sitting home with your kids, trying to figure out how to pass their time. That it's a summer camp that's coming that will give you more information. But it's important that you get those kids engaged, keep their minds, their brains in their hands. Keep them engaged, keep them stimulated, if you will. And Jake, coming back over to you, as I listened to you and Stephanie, I remember when you guys first launched this program, you came to me, we chatted about it. Where do you get this energy, you and Stephanie and your entire team, to come up with these types of creative programs to keep our young people engaged? And why is being involved with the Detroit Public School System so important to you?
Yeah, honestly, Mark, I think that we get the energy from other Detroiters who are also doing creative things. And it's really, that's what's contagious. Obviously the virus is contagious. Well, creativity is contagious. And, it's you see one business do it in Detroit, and then another business do something creative, and then it makes you want to do it. That's where the energy comes from. And specifically with kids, I mean, we have all of these amazing coaches like Sacred, coaches that do photography and writing and design. And what better way to actually, work with kids and pair them up with these coaches? So it's just a natural fit. Stephanie, she's the one who came up with the idea, and everyone started believing in it, and it became a domino effect. So, Mark, the important thing right now is that everyone stays connected. We appreciate you giving us a platform to tell our story. and to raise awareness about what we're doing. But yeah, just, we feel for every business in Detroit right now. I know we're going to get through this. We're going to get through it together. And that's what Detroiters always do. Everyone always picks you up. So, at times of hardship, this city, this state, we always seem to overcome the hardest challenges. And, we're equally as excited as when we launched it, if not more. So we're going to go forward with a force.
I have to take a very quick break, so if you don't mind hanging around for just a couple of minutes to answer that question from Dana. You are on 910AM Superstation. You're in the conference room with Mark Astley and Dana Harvey, and our very special guest. We'll be right back. We'll be right back at this commercial break on 910AM Superstation. All right, welcome back to 910AM Superstation. You are in the conference room with Mark Astley and Dana Harvey, and before I give our very special guest a chance to answer the question, and then we'll get the information about this, the upcoming program. I've been trying to intersperse this conversation with a couple of verses as we go into break, and as we come out of break. As I referenced, I asked my pastor last night to send me some verses I think are apropos to today's situation. So I want to read you a couple of verses from Psalm 91. Psalm 91, verses 1 and 2. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress and my God in whom I trust. All right? So I just want you to take these words and make them your words as we are living in unprecedented times right now. And as I go out of the show later this afternoon, I'm going to have one final verse that I will share with you as well. All right, so we had a question. Dana, can you restate your question very briefly to our guests and give them an opportunity to respond?
Yeah, so we were just talking about, children who who should be and could be exposed to photography arts during the summer, and understanding that Stephanie and Jake created their services for the writing community and for people who are looking to express themselves through the written or spoken word. And I just wonder if there's a place for those of us who are at home, staying safe and staying home, to begin to cultivate our own ability to write. And how would you encourage those people who are reflecting and have time to reflect to begin writing, whether it's through journaling or whether it's through writing poetry? For the novices, what would you suggest or offer to those of us who might be a little interested in just beginning to write?
Hi, Dana. That's an awesome question, and I think you kind of answered it. I would recommend people just to get out a piece of paper and pen and just start free-writing whatever comes to mind. I think journaling right now is very therapeutic for people, especially to get their thoughts and their feelings out during a very stressful time. And I also do think we are living through history. So whatever you do, put on that page and create is something that you should keep. You might have grandchildren or children one day that might be interested in reading your thoughts during this time when we're all at home self-quarantining and just sitting back and reflecting. So journaling is a fantastic idea right now. But if you are interested in actually learning more about the publication process and writing a book, all of our coaches are available virtually to talk with people one-on-one through video conferencing right now. And if you just want to have a conversation to explore, how does that writing process work? What do I need to know? How do I begin? They are all willing to talk to you and help you through that process. We just had yesterday a whole day-long virtual session on how to write a book. And we had 7 writers join us from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. virtually. It was such an amazing experience to connect with one another and talk about the writing process and ideas and how to transform your idea into a published manuscript. So we are here to help you during this time. If you've got a creative thought, reach out to us and we will help you transform it into something published. But again, just starting with your simple thoughts on a piece of paper, it's so therapeutic, and I think you'll really start to enjoy it, and that could spiral into something more like a book or short story or poem. But now is the time to express your creativity through writing, that's for sure.
Outstanding. Eric,
I've always felt like everyone has a story. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mark.
No, please, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, I feel like everyone has a story, so I would encourage you all to take some time and see if Stephanie and Jake can help you through that process.
Outstanding. Eric, you've been very patient on 910AM Superstation. Thanks for calling to the conference room. What are you thinking?
Hey, how you doing, Mark? How you doing, Dana? You know, this is a very important conversation. People have to also keep in focus, particularly with the schools being shut down. You have the third grade law that's supposed to go into effect this year. We as a community have to do what's necessary to keep these kids engaged. And now they're talking about closing down schools through the end of the year. That's going to negatively impact so many. But we as a community have to do our part to ensure that everyone stays on their game. No one is held back. And this is the time for, without a doubt, the community to come together. It's unfortunate it's going to take a crisis for people to come together, but that's what crisis do, brings out the best in people. So this is the time for all of us to come together to help out our fellow man.
That is Mr. Eric Brown. You recognize his voice. He does a wonderful job reaching out in terms of helping young people. He's involved in the literacy programs here in Detroit, and I would like the three of you to get a chance to respond to him. Eric, thank you very much for the call. I'll give a chance to respond to Eric's comments, and then we'll wrap up, get your contact information via the website as well. Who would like to join? Who would like to respond?
I agree. I agree with what he's saying. Go ahead, Stephanie. No,
I was going to say absolutely. I agree. We started thinking about these summer programs long before COVID-19. And so, now it's even so much more important to make sure that we actually are able to fulfill these programs and camps for the students who need that active engagement and learning opportunities that they're not getting right now. So we're actually hoping to expand not just photography, but also offer some writing-focused camps. We are looking for funding opportunities so that they are free for the students, but the caller is absolutely right. This is the time to focus on kids right now and make sure they're getting what they need.
Yeah. And Sacred, I want to say to you, I love the passion in your voice. And I love what you're doing, and I want to give you, from your perspective, as a coach, Jake and Steph, I know you both, I'm not discounting you at all, please. But I'm saying, though, is as a coach, what can the young people expect when you coach them in closing? What can they expect from you? How do you get that passion to come across for our young people as you talk about the coaching that you're going to be doing with them?
What will they get from it? Thank you for acknowledging my passion. It's something I've had since I was in high school, and I just want to share it with the other kids that are too afraid to reach out for what they want. Two, I just try to develop their sense of confidence, and I strive to give them. I pay attention to what they want, what they might be dealing with as well. So at one point, I had a student when I was doing this on my own who couldn't read very well. I take the time to go through that with that child, though. If I see that they have a development issue or if I see that they're having a creativity issue, I don't just focus on photography. I want you to be a well-rounded, fully developed young person, because these are the most sensitive times. We went through a lot as kids, and that carries on with us through the rest of our life. It's how we make decisions. It's how we go after things. It's whether or not we believe that we can, and that's the whole purpose in photography. For me, it gave me a confidence that I kind of lack personally. When I'm shooting, I'm feeling at my best, and when I'm creating, I'm feeling whole. And I just want to nurture that for them. So what they'll get is they'll be very well-rounded and very well-versed in the camera and what the camera can do, but then also creating an image from beginning to end. So from shooting it through your camera to how to pose the person to light and working with light, because I'm a natural light on-location photographer. So I just want to give a couple of tips and to end. If anybody is trying to figure out while they're at home how to stay inspired in photography, or they're looking for inspiration, here's a couple of tips. Go to Pinterest, do a 30-day challenge where you're doing self-portrait or you're using your camera around your house. Get on YouTube and learn your camera inside and out so that you know what you're doing and how to control and manipulate an image or light. If you need my help, I'm on Instagram at Moon Reflections Photography. You're more than welcome to drop a message. And my one tip is don't move from the light, go towards the light. So if you're going to try and take a picture of yourself that's going to be your Instagram best, go towards the window light and let that light fill in your shadows and all of your beauty, and take that picture then. Thank you for this opportunity again.
Our pleasure. And Stephanie and or Jake, please give us the contact information where people can get more information about this program. And congratulations to both of you for driving this through our Pursuit Detroit. Thank you both. So what's the contact information?
Thank you so much, Mark, for having us on. If any Detroit high school student is interested in applying for the free camp, they can visit coachingdetroitforward.org. The application will be open until about mid-April. And if you're interested in seeking out Detroit Writing Room coaches or attending our virtual workshops, you can go to DetroitWritingRoom.com.
Okay. Well, thank you both, all three of you. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Jake and Sacred. Outstanding information. We wish you continued success in these days of COVID-19. And when things open back up, we would encourage you all to go down to the Detroit Writing Room. Thank you and have a great day. Stay safe.
You too. Thank you all.